All right, so today we're gonna be working on the FREK and I get to play with the engine. So we are gonna be putting a K20 in this thing. This engine is meant for an FF, so a transverse engine setup. It is going to be FR in this car, which means we have a lot of problems. When this is set up transverse, the intake manifold goes this way, so your air filter and all that is back here. Of course, this is gonna be a firewall, and we can't put our air filter in the firewall, so we're gonna have to swing everything the other direction, which is a lot of problems because it's not meant to go that way. So we have a couple of different water pump housing setups. We are going to be keeping AC on this car, so we're going to have to figure something out for the alternator as well as the belt, and then figure out how to move this back up out of the way and make everything work. So that's my project for today, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. And you might want to explain that a lot of people have done these conversions where they've turned these motors sideways. There are parts on the market that allow you to do what we're doing, but you have to lose the AC compressor.
Yeah, I was going to mention that intake manifold that relocates the alternator lower. Right. That's not going to work in this application. There
are some components on the market that would have made this an easy task. So if you're okay with not having AC, this is fairly simple and straightforward. It's been done a few times already. Because we are keeping that, it adds a lot of challenges, and we're not afraid of challenges, so we're going to figure it out. Yeah, if any of you guys have done this and actually kept AC, maybe leave us some comments down below if you know some shortcuts for us. All right, while Quinn is working on getting the engine block painted up, I'm working on our Sparco seats. We've got the Qrt Ks, which are a brand new seat from Sparco. Full Kevlar bucket, they weigh nothing, and they're perfect for our EK project. The Qrt seats are interesting in that they actually require a bracket to go with them from Sparco. So when you buy QRTs, make sure you buy the brackets from Sparco as well, because these seats are meant to sit low, and the shape of the seat doesn't allow you to use a traditional seat mount. We've decided to pair ours with the Buddy Club rails because we want the seat to sit super duper low, and they are the lowest rails that I'm aware of on the market. It does require a bit of finagling, so as you can see here, I'm not going to take the plastic off, but the full back of this seat is Kevlar, and the face of it denoted by QRT K for Kevlar. So here's a good look at the seat. As you can see, full Kevlar. These things are bad and new. So if you guys are interested in a set of these seats, hit up throtl.com. We do sell these. All right, we're basically just test fitting these. Now I already test fit a QRT in here when we were doing all the heavy fab work, but we want to make sure that these can fit in the car the way they did originally. I'm gonna pull the cover off and show you guys. They look pretty awesome in here, and they sit plenty far back. This is basically in the all the way back position. As you can see, we've got the roll cage harness bar is right here behind the seat. There is about, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches of room. But again, this is way far back for my needs. I'm 6 foot, and it probably needs to go forward to probably 4 to 5 inches for me to be able to touch the pedals. So really happy with the seat. The Buddy Club rails work out really nice, and these are homologated till 2026, I think. Got our homologation stickers here, FIA standard, not valid after 2026. So we've got 5 years of use out of these with the sanctioning bodies. Huge shout out to Sparco. These seats are killer.
Actually, they feel very similar to mine.
Yeah, I mean, they're the same bucket. It's QRT.
Is this tilt?
Yes, okay. That's all the way up.
Right? Oh, and then this seat's back, right?
Yeah, and remember the pedals are going to be high. Your heels are going to be 1.5 inches off the floor.
Definitely a race car. That's cool. Let's go. Let's get a wheel in here.
I want to get the shifter in there.
All right,
right, guys, real quick, sorry for the interruption, but we have two big announcements. We are bringing the ice cream truck out on the road. So we have two events. I'd love for you guys to make it out if you're in the Southern California or San Diego area. First up is 6/18. That's this Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. in Encinitas, California. We have the second official throttle meet of the year at ShipWreck Cove. So last event was awesome. You guys blew away our expectations. We even had some people drive all the way from Colorado, which is freaking crazy. So yeah, this Friday, I'll put the link for that in the video description. And then the next day, Saturday, we have an event at Irwindale, California called Fuel Fest. That's gonna be really awesome as well. It's hosted by Cody Walker. All the proceeds go to Reach Out Worldwide, and there's gonna be a ton of people there. That's gonna be a huge event. So that is Saturday from 12 to 4 p.m. I'll put the link for Fuel Fest in the video description as well. So exciting meeting you guys. Finally, events are back. Car show season is here, and we're just very excited. So thank you guys for listening. Now enjoy the rest of the video.
Look at me. The rear diff is going on, baby. But we still need front mounts. I just don't know where they are.
Dang, look at that. Look at that new shirt. Look at that new shirt and new hat.
Woo! Now this putito goes here.
Where are your bolts for those, dog?
I gotta clean those.
Oh, dang. That's a nice piece right there.
There you go. That's before.
Dang. Spend all day polishing Mickey's nuts. That's crazy.
What I do? Polish nuts.
These nuts.
And they go right here.
Yes?
Right there. Oh, baby.
Let's see if it still fits.
Oh, she will fit. I can't believe we did this without this last time.
You lifted it?
Yeah, we haven't had this thing in so long.
Easy,
This
Chief.
is why you're here, bro.
Easy, Chief. Yeah, go up more. Yeah. Yeah, just go up. Just keep going up. There you go.
I'm going down. Ah, you're so strong.
All right, well, Quinn's dealing with the engine and Ricky's dealing with the differential. I went ahead and started on our canard setup and drilling some holes in beautiful paint jobs. I found these canards online. They're like a GT style canard. They're very nice, very well fitted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and nut cert the bumper, throw some Downstar hardware underneath, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually, Ricky and I are gonna paint these satin black to match the rest of the carbon on the car. These came after the car was painted. So we'll go ahead and paint these matte, and then we're gonna actually treat this as well, because I don't like this, the bottom side. This portion's pretty visible once they're on here. So we'll probably sand this down, maybe add a little bit of fiberglass resin and make it nice and smooth. Put a nice coat of black paint on there to match the rest of the car, and we should be in business. I'm always scared to pull the tape off. The boys at BCC did a good job on the prep work. We ain't gotta worry about nothing.
That's funny because the bumper is so dark in the shadow. I like can't get a good shot of the holes. We got the block painted now. We're gonna 2K clear it. It's gonna turn out hopefully very nice.
Quinn is gonna be busy doing other stuff, so he put me in charge of clearing the block, so that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple of minutes. Do like this for about 10 seconds, then we'll shake her up.
What do you got here?
Oh, nothing. So, funny thing is, this wing came on the car and we were gonna actually sell it to our friends over at Auto Fashion, but they ended up not coming to pick it up, and then I ended up deciding I wanted to use it, so. What's cool is we had the guys over at BCC Unlimited actually fill the wiper cutout. This is actually a Honda optional part that you could get from the dealership. When you bought your car, they could add it on. And it's kind of, it's not rare, but it's pretty unusual And I'll be honest, it's not for everybody. Like, not everybody loves it. I think it adds a cool touch to this track car. This kind of hurts. This really hurts, actually.
Full carbon trunk.
Just smoking holes that, for a part that most people are gonna hate on. But I like it, so f it. All right, so one a little big on the holes, so we have a little, but we gotta open the trunk and look inside to make sure that we have the ability to reach in and pick up the bolt through.
The original battery location was right here in the center, which we had to completely take off and change because now this is a different diff, which is a lot bigger, and it is mounted higher than before. So I think I'm still going to try to put it in the same location. It just definitely needs to be higher than it was before. So this is the battery brace bracket that Mickey made. And the plan is to put it just like so, and we have about ½ inch of clearance in between this and the diff. And I'm just gonna make some basic brackets on the side just to hold it in place, weld it in place, and then we'll have our final location. Here's my battery tray. I have about 1/8 of a gap between the diff and the tray, and right now I'm mocking it in place. And as you can see, I got lines drawn exactly where it needs to be. So I'm gonna tack weld this in each side, and if everything checks out good, I'll take everything back apart and I'll finish welding all the way around.
So part of what we want to accomplish with this car is kind of make it almost like a street car style race car. So we're gonna try to put as much of the interior back in as possible. Now that's gonna be really difficult because we're working on a roll cage, racing seats, a taller tunnel. There's all kinds of stuff that's gonna be in the way. So it's gonna require a lot of patience and just trimming the panels to fit in there nicely around all that stuff. And I'm gonna start sort of fitting as much of it as possible. And I should say, we're really only trying to keep anything from like the middle of the doors up. I guess the best way to explain this, so when you look through the glass windows, all the interior panels look intact and everything rolls in really nice and finished, but then the bottoms of all that stuff is removed for weight savings. But it looks like a finished car from the outside. That's the point. Mounted on my battery brace. The panels were fitting. If you can see all the way around the roll cage, they were cut to fit. So there's literally little to no space in between us. So that's freaking awesome. Over here we have the engine. As you guys can see, it's got satin black. So it's got painted, and then we did a satin black clear coat on it. Quinn actually has been working on this a lot, trying to put everything back together. Hope you guys like the progress that we're making on the Civic. It's slow and steady. Just so you guys understand, a lot of what's going on here is not final. We're working on final stuff. A lot of you guys mentioned in the comment section that you didn't love the colors that I chose. Just trust the process and wait till the car's done before you pass judgment. This is not the final look for the car. It's gonna look different than this when it's done, so just bear with us. Obviously the rear wheels are placeholders. Those will be changed out. We're waiting on a few parts to show up before we can put the real wheels on, which are these here, the Advans on the front. We've got a lot of motor work ahead of us as well. There's a lot to do still to finish this car, but the good news is back from paint, so we can start throwing everything that we did before it went to paint back in the car. We know it's all gonna fit, it's gonna bolt right in, so it should come together pretty quick. So the next video is gonna be jam-packed with a lot of progress, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Smash that subscribe button, give us some likes and thumbs up. We appreciate it all. We'll see you in the next one.